Hey, deserving listeners, this is a best of video in which I took all of the reaction videos that I did to Ed and Rose and condensed them down by topic. This one is about when Ed was worried about Rose's sister asking him for money. It's also when he is talking about, does Rose really love me? And he starts to get into that a little bit, and we see how he deals with that in a functional and dysfunctional way. And also we see further example of how he will vacillate between being jealous and also being very apologetic. Let's get to the video.
The main reason why I wanted to come here with you was for us to really understand our feelings.
What you want?
I want someone that loves me, that won't ever leave me, that respects me.
Do you want that with me? No.
I mean, I think so, but I'm not 100% sure.
So I get where Ed is coming from. He has questions. He wants to know, do you really love me for who I am? Do you really want to be in this relationship because you love me? Totally normal. It's okay to ask for reassurance in that area. Universal. So Ed is being rational here, and he is being emotionally intelligent by noticing that in his heart is what he wants to know. Does she really love me for me? And the way he just asked that question was just so weird, you know? And I'm worried that she's not going to interpret it right, and this is going to go downhill.
I love Rose, but there's one thing that's holding me back, and that is whether or not Rose was involved with her sister asking me for money.
No. As I keep saying, that's not a dichotomy. She can both love you and want to be with you and consider you to be a helpful family member by providing money that would actually save people's lives. Both can be true. It's such a privileged way of looking at things, of just like, well, if she's asking me for money, then they're exploiting me or something. And I mean, you saw their town, you saw their home. This is his pattern that he's shown, is that he has a normal insecurity sense, which is normal. Like, oh, I wonder if she really loves me. Instead of going towards what I would say functional ways of finding that out or giving it time and just being okay with that question, the terror, and given maybe his traumas in the past of being rejected, he can't tolerate that ambiguity. You know, he's shown a number of dysfunctional strategies that actually shoot him in the foot, and it's probably some defense involved. He has questioned her about her STIs. He has questioned her about how many men she is friends with on Facebook. And now he's questioning her about her motivations of money and this sort of thing. It's a defense that shoots himself in the foot. So the defense is like, I'm worried that she doesn't love me. How do I get a good answer to that? Well, there isn't really a definitive answer. There isn't really a way to fully assess that. In that ambiguity, then there's terror of just like, well, if I don't know, then I won't be able to sleep at night, which is normal. A lot of people go through that. But because of the traumas that he's been through, part of his ego is like, well, we have to find out now because I can't tolerate this ambiguity. So figure out a strategy. And then he locks on to these details, like sister asking him for money, STI, this kind of stuff. The fantasy in his ego subconsciously is, if I get an answer to this, like he's probably thinking right now, if I can get an answer, if she can reassure me that the sister asked for money and Rose didn't know about it, then that ambiguity will go away. But of course it won't, because that doesn't answer the question if Rose really loves him. Now, the defense will shoot himself in the foot, which it repeatedly has done in the past, which she will get insulted by that or hurt, and then she will distance herself from him, thereby showing him that she doesn't really love him. But it began with his defense. It began with his way of trying to solve a problem that might not be solvable, and it actually creates the problem he's trying to solve. Defense mechanisms often do this to us. Our efforts to save ourselves from the pain and the hurt and the fears of life often will create more hurt and pain and fears for us.
When I was in San Diego, your sister Maria asked me for money, for help, but also asked me not to tell you. So, did you know about that?
I don't know.
You didn't know anything about that?
No. Do you think I not love you because I love your money?
he's asking a very concrete question. Did you know that your sister asked me for money? But she is intuiting that's not really what he's asking. What he's really asking is he suspicious that I don't really love him because of the money? It's a wonderful skill that she has, wonderful, mature, emotionally intelligent skill that she has to see through his defense and actually get to the heart of the matter. And now he has an opportunity to say, you know what? Yeah, I think that is a question. Now, due to his defenses, I suspect that deep down, he actually believes that no one can really love him for who he is.
I don't want to think that, but why did Maria tell me not to tell you?
So this is frustrating to watch Ed do this. He is doubling down on this question about the sister when it would have been so much more functional for him to say, yeah, you're right. You know what? I'm just kind of insecure. And I've just had this question mark since I came over to the Philippines. Does she really love me? And it's nothing you're doing, and it's nothing your sister is doing. I guess I'm just insecure, and I guess I'm just looking for some reassurance that you really love me. That's a tremendously vulnerable thing to do that I don't think he trusts other people with that vulnerability. Men in particular are taught not to be vulnerable like that, so he's exhibiting that.
You think I'm involved to my sister?
I don't know.
I hurt because I think you not to see my love.
And there you have it. His defenses are hurting her. His effort of defending himself from the possibility of being hurt actually hurt her. And now you will be hurt, Ed, because she will pull away from you in all possibility. I mean, possibly. We'll see how things turn out.
I hurt so much because you think I like my sister who want you money, not with love. But I don't want the money.
I wasn't sure if you were involved, but you're telling me you're not.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I believe you.
Once again, his defenses kick in. His insecurities kick in, which is normal. He has these defenses where he goes on the attack. She gets hurt. He feels she's starting to pull away, and then he completely changes his mode to pleasing mode. So he goes from the mode of insecure attacker to over-the-top pleasing mode. So we just saw that shift in him, and now I think he's going to go into the apologetic, overly pleasing mode.
This is our second day in Palawan, and after I confronted her about her sister, I feel 100% sure that Rose had nothing to do with her sister wanting money from me.
One mode where I'm guessing underneath the surface feels worried that other people are going to leave him. I'm guessing he's been through a fair amount of abandonment and disappointment in his life with others. And when he's in that state, he transforms that worry, which is normal for people to have. He transforms it somehow in his defensive structure, eventually into a controlling and accusational behavior. You have too many male friends on Facebook. You have an STI. And so that's that mode where he is worried and jealous or accusatory and mean. His other mode is where he's extremely apologetic, 110% sure that he can trust her, even though just minutes earlier he wasn't fully trusting her. So I think that's his idealization or his denial of, a little bit of concern. He's enthusiastic. He's very pleasing. He's super attentive to what she wants, and doesn't do anything that will annoy her at all. And he goes back and forth between these two modes. We've seen him do this a handful of times in the show. My hypothesis is that it has to do with the baseline fear of not having someone love him. The mode where he's worried she's going to leave him or she doesn't really love him, then he gets controlling. Or the mode where he's like, oh, I'm going to lose her. I did something bad. I need to make up for that. And I need to be the perfect boyfriend. I need to just shower her with compliments and tell her I totally trust you. So it's probably just a matter of time before he pulls away from that and something triggers him to go back to that other mode. Now, a different way for him to operate would be to sit with his attachment worries and go, okay, what's going on? I'm noticing right now that I'm getting a little controlling and I'm starting to have accusatory thoughts. What is that evidence of? Well, it's evidence of this. And then underneath all of that is, I'm worried she's going to leave me. Of course I'm worried she's going to leave me. We just met. We don't know each other well. Is there anything I can do about that? Probably not, because we're just going to have to date and time will tell. No one in the beginning of a relationship can say that they trust their romantic partner 100%. I've been with my wife a number of years and I trust her a great deal. In the beginning of our relationship, there's no way either one of us should have trusted each other a great deal. It takes a long time to really trust someone. So the fact that he doesn't trust her, normal. She also probably doesn't trust him. So normal. And he might just have to sit with that anxiety and accept that. All right, well, that does it for that best of video. Everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.